Hi guys, I'm Joe Jurek here with the one, the only, the iconic Nancy Grace.
I'm going to take that in a good way.
You are iconic.
Thank you.
I was telling my friends that I was interviewing you, and they said there's only one Nancy Grace.
Well, a lot of people would probably be happy to hear that.
Yes.
But thank you.
So for those out there that don't know, tell us how you got into true crime.
Well, you know, it's a story that I don't love telling,
Right.
but I hope that it can help other crime victims. I was in school studying Shakespearean literature, of all things,
Right.
to teach at university level, and just before my wedding, my fiance, Keith, was murdered in random violence, and my world exploded. His world ended, and I dropped out of school. I didn't know what I was going to do. I ultimately went back. They let me back in at Mercer University, and I studied to go to law school, which I did, and ultimately became one of the first female special prosecutors in inner city Atlanta, where I stayed prosecuting felony crimes for the next 10 years.
Wow. That's incredible. And then how did that segue to Court TV?
Well, that's a crazy story. While I was there, I was invited to sit on a panel of experts, which means out-of-town lawyers. That's what that means.
Okay.
So I came to New York, and I sat on a panel between, fortuitously, Johnny Cochran right off the Simpson case and Roy Black off the William Kennedy Smith debacle. And of course, we got in a huge fight. And they went, let's do a he say, she say, Cochran and Grace. I'm like, no, I have a serial rape case. I got to try next week. I can't think about this. And I came home. Then the elected DA, who was like a grandfather to me, decided to retire, and I didn't have a job. What do you want me to be, a defense lawyer? So I called Court TV back and said, hey, you know that job? I'll take it. And I moved to New York with 2 boxes of clothes, a curling iron, and $300.
No way.
What could go wrong?
But with the job at Court TV.
Yes, with Johnny Cochran.
What was it like in those days?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, dear, it wasn't that long ago.
I know. I'm like, tell me what it was like.
It was awesome, you know, covering live trials and commenting on trials of the day, much as I do now. Investigations, crimes. Very much like being in the courtroom. It was wonderful. I loved Court TV.
Yeah. What was your relationship like with Johnny Cochran?
Great. Of course, I disagree with everything he said. And for the longest time, every time I would look at him, I would think about Simpson getting off, which got me crazy. But I also learned a lot from him about how he managed to persuade juries and win the Simpson verdict.
Interesting. Did he tell you anything that you'd like to tell us?
Well, it was all lies, of course, because he couldn't come out and tell anything that he really thought about Simpson. So, I mean, he was doing his job as a defense attorney. You got to take those secrets to the grave. But this is a good indicator. I would say, come on, Cochran, you know he did it. And he would always say, jury acquitted him. In other words, yes, he did it, but a jury acquitted him. But I'm putting words in his mouth now. God rest his soul.
Yes. So you spent your life as a legal commentator. Have you ever thought about doing a political commentation?
No. Politics makes me sick to my stomach. I'd rather try a serial killer. But then talk about politics. Because frankly, I think they're all lying.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, in those presidential debates,
And you don't do well with liars, Nancy.
Right up in there.
One thing you have done is some reality TV, Dancing with the Stars.
Okay, yeah, that was fun.
You were fantastic on it.
You're so. I can't believe I hung in.
You did.
Nearly the bitter end.
Yeah.
That's thanks to the viewers. Certainly not because of my dance steps and my partner, Tristan McManus. Let's just say very tolerant.
Okay. And you said that you fell asleep in the clothes. You were so tired after those rehearsals?
Yes. Sometimes I would come home, my feet would actually bleed.
Oh my God.
And my husband would say, hey, let's go and have dinner. And I go, okay. And he'd come back in, and I'd be just laying there, but just in my clothes.
Yeah. Would you ever do any reality TV yourself?
Oh, sure. Yeah. That was so fun.
Oh, yeah.
It was a lot of hard work.
I bet.
But it was fun.
That's what everyone says that goes on there.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Let's talk about, you've been parodied on Drag Race twice. That's why you're so iconic.
You know what? That was a huge compliment. I happen to be pretty good friends with RuPaul.
Have you?
I am.
Yeah.
And, you know, he started in Atlanta. when I was still prosecuting in inner city Atlanta.
Okay.
So we kind of were in two different circles, obviously, at the time. But since that time, I consider RuPaul a very good friend.
Do you?
Yeah.
Great. Did you love the parody they've done of you?
It was hilarious.
Hilarious.
In fact, I'm a little angry there hasn't been a recent one.
I was just going to say.
I mean, really.
Neither of them won doing you because I think to reach Nancy Grace level,
they were robbed. They should have won.
Yes.
That was fixed. RuPaul, that's on you, buddy. That was fixed.
Let's talk about your new show, Injustice with Nancy Grace. I'm so excited about it. Tell us what it's all about.
Well, you know, there are thousands of unsolved homicides and missing people that never get mentioned. There are thousands of cases, just as important as O.J. Simpson, speak of the devil, or Scott Peterson, or hot mom Casey Anthony. Why won't she go away?
I know.
But they never get noticed.
Okay.
And I really do not believe that one crime victim is more or less important than another.
Right.
Each one of the first 8 cases that we have hand-picked to spotlight stand for something very significant in our justice system.
Okay.
I'm very proud of them, and it's been a lot of hard work. Just before I came here last week, I was slogging through a creek bed
I heard about
on one of these cases, and we have really, really worked hard to recreate crimes, to talk to witnesses, to delve into the psyche, the potential motives behind crimes.
Okay.
And it's been a lot of hard work, much as if I would prepare one of these cases for trial.
Okay. Tell us out there who might not understand or have the expertise that you do if a verdict or a case is unjust. What are some telltale signs that you think?
Well, one thing I always say, and I say this to my children as well, if it doesn't feel right, it's not right.
Right.
If you have a bad feeling about a decision in your life even, or something that's happening around you, or a verdict, or an investigation, if it doesn't all fit together, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes down to your gut feeling.
It really does. So that's the first indicator to me.
Okay.
And that's what I typically look for right at the beginning of a case.
Okay. What do you think about the court of public opinion and how that may affect a case?
Well, if that really affected a case, Simpson would be behind bars for life.
I was just going to say.
Okay, so that didn't work out.
Right.
Okay.
Do you think that it's allowed to influence? I know you're not necessarily allowed to influence a jury at the court of public opinion, but if there's enough evidence out there that says someone did it, don't you think?
Well, typically jurors in high-profile cases where there's a lot of media coverage are sequestered. In other words, they can't go home at night. They have to go to a hotel. They can't read the newspapers. So they're not supposed to hear about the media coverage.
Right.
Now, does that always happen in a perfect world? Probably not.
Right. Especially now with social media and cell phones.
You know it.
And all of that. I want to pick your brain about this college admissions scandal. What are your thoughts, Nancy Grace?
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
Where I was 3 weeks ago.
Where?
I told the children, John, David, and Lucy, that to help them get into college, they should try to be Eagle Scouts.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you know, now girls can be scouts, just like
which is
boys.
great, of course.
So what does that mean? That means camp.
Oh.
What does camp mean to me? Sleepaway camp? That means murder and molestation.
Oh.
Okay. So Mommy could not just send them off to sleepaway camp. Mommy and I forced my husband to become Scout volunteers.
Oh.
And we went up in the mountains.
Okay.
Which means everywhere you go, you're walking uphill, honey. Even if you want to have breakfast, you're trudging up a hill. One day I had 32,000 steps.
No way.
Yes.
That's good. That's your workout for the day.
That was like about 4 o'clock.
Right.
And of course, the first night we were there, it started raining.
Okay.
I was laying there, drip, drip, drip. Long story short, it was one of the greatest weeks of my life.
Great.
But we went away to Scout Camp, and it was incredible.
That's great. So you're teaching them how to do it the right way, not...
Teaching them how to do it the right way. Back to the college admission scandal. All because I thought that would help them get into the school that they like.
Right.
They're going into the 6th grade in 6 years. So wait a minute. I'm going to have them sleeping in a dripping tent and riding horses and rafting,
right.
which actually turned out to be fun.
Uh-huh.
So maybe they can be an Eagle Scout. We're working for the next 7 years
right.
to help get into college.
Right.
And these peeps just write a check. And, you know, they're working hard to make all A's.
Right.
To do all their projects, to do STEAM, to do this, to do that, to be in the band. They're working.
Yeah.
My little babies at 11 are working like dogs to make good grades and do everything right, so one day they can get into an awesome school.
Of course. And their spot better not get taken by a celebrity's check that they're writing.
I know there's a lot of broken-hearted people out there right now. And then, you know, I love Felicity Huffman. I'm
love
a
her.
huge fan.
Oh my God.
And
that was the most shocking thing. Was
I think that she was, you know, blinded. I get blinded by mother's love. You'll do anything to help your children.
Right.
And you're like, eh. And she did it.
Yeah.
And then busted and is now, you know, but I really respect her for standing up and saying, you know what? I did this thing. It was wrong.
Yeah, she wasn't hiding
I've
behind
heard a lot of people. I feel awful about it. And I'm gonna admit I did this thing.
Definitely.
And that renewed my. I already love her and her husband.
Of course.
And when she did that, I was really knocked out.
Right. Do you think that they try to make examples of these celebrities? Because there was a lot of other people that
that's
were
a
part of
double-edged
this
sword.
scandal.
You're absolutely right. Yes, they get all the media attention, but other people are going to jail too.
Right.
But that's a double-edged sword
Yeah.
for celebrities. They either get super easy treatment, light treatment. I mean, how many times does like Paris Hilton or somebody have to, or Lindsay Lohan have to show out before they go to jail?
Right.
On the other hand, they get made an example of.
Right.
So that's part of it.
Definitely. Well, that's great about your show is you're not just going to be focusing on the high-profile cases.
Yes, we are focusing on cases people have never heard of before. And they're stories that really can break your heart or make you proud or leave you angry and wanting justice. And I'm just so proud. And what's so great about Oxygen is they're all about crime.
Right.
Just like me. So I'm loving it. Where are you going to be? July 13, Saturday, 6 Eastern, 5 Central.
Watching Nancy Grace, Injustice
In fact, you
with
can
Nancy
come
Grace.
to my sofa and have popcorn with me
I
and the
would love
twins.
to. And the twins, how are the twins?
They're wonderful.
Are they?
They're alone
Middle
right
school?
now. They're starting middle school. I don't know how this happened. But they're alone with my husband and my 87-year-old mother right now. I'm just hoping they're not burning the house down.
With mom gone.
Yeah.
Are you strict with them at home?
No, actually, I'm the pushover.
Are you really?
They called me last night from under the covers going, Mom, Dad made us go to bed at 9 o'clock.
Oh my God.
I started laughing.
Oh my God. So Dad's the strict one, huh?
Well, he wanted to go to sleep. That's
Do they
what that
know
boils
who
down
Mom
to.
is on TV?
Yeah,
They do now?
get it. They think it's hilarious.
Do they?
Yeah.
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 Trying to be tough
You know,
on
I
TV.
try to be cool. You know the song, I'm gonna take my horse till the old town road. Okay, so I tried to be cool the other day. I'm like, I met Billy Cyrus, and they're like, Mom, guess what? Nicholas's mom works at Chick-fil-A, and she gets free nuggets. I'm like, okay, that didn't work. I'm like, okay.
She's keeping them humble. They just want nuggets.
I mean, I was trying to brag just
Yeah,
one
you're like,
time.
I met Billy Ray Cyrus. They're like, who?
I got nowhere.
Is that Miley's dad?
Basically, because I stalked him one time at the View and tried to get his picture.
Oh, I love it. Well, we can't wait for Injustice. You are so fascinating,
can't
Nancy
wait.
Grace.
Thank
I just
you.
love you so much.
Thank you.
Come solve my life.
Prove it. Prove it. Be there.
I will.
July 13th
July
at 6
13th.
Eastern on Oxygen.
On Oxygen. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Come here.
Mwah.